Hi everyone. I am going to show you how you can do sort of a quick evaluation of different results before you determine what you want to evaluate more fully. So this video is only going to show you how you can make these quick determinations. It is not going to go completely through all of the evaluation criteria for you to make your final decision. I will do that in the next video. So I am going to follow along with what my sample project is, and you'll learn a little bit more about that once you look at our sample project at the end of the class. And I have searched for flu shots schools in Google. And so I'm going to go through some of these results and give you my first impressions and the clues that I pick up as I go along. So the very first result that we have is flu shots from healthy schools. I'm going to open that in a new tab. And as I'm looking here, it really is not much to do with research, or it doesn't have enough to even think about using it for research. When you're looking for things at academic research, you want to make sure that you have things that are in-depth enough for you to get some good information. I don't even know what Healthy Schools is. I would definitely want to look into who they are and what their goals were, but I can already tell right here that I need to go ahead and move on. In fact, they are sending you to another website to get more information. So this just is not in-depth enough for me to even look into more. And the second result is actually from that same website, just their main website. The next one I'm going to look at is when flu vaccine is administered at school, do rates of vaccination make the honor roll? So there's some promising things here. This is on the AAP publications, that's the American Academy of Pediatrics. It is written by a doctor. They have an MD as well as an MA, which is another master's degree, and they're the editor-in-chief. It is a blog, but if you have academic blogs, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Again, though, this is not really enough on its own. They are talking about a study, and they give a DOI of this study. So if I was interested in this topic, it might be better to go to that original study and see more about what is on that, what's in that article, what they found, what they looked at. So again, not enough for me to consider using. Okay. The next thing is from the CDC. It's information for schools and child care providers. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, known as the CDC, is one of the top organizations for health, especially in the United States. So they usually are a really good resource. However, this page is geared more towards schools and child care providers. So it is more practical information. And if we're looking for academic information, we might need to look a little bit further. You know, there's some quick things here about general information about the flu, preventing and treating flu. So this really isn't the right audience for our research needs. Our next one is experts weigh advisability of school-based flu shots. This looks like it's a news article. You can see that it's under News and Perspectives. It is from the University of Minnesota, their Center for Infectious Disease Research and Policy. It is from 2008 though, and so at this point that is more than a decade old, and there are definitely some changes that have happened with the flu and flu vaccinations, so this might not be a recent enough result for us. Now, again, just as I'm sort of looking through, we see things like from caredocs.com, the 74million.com, which I've never heard of. There is something from the Florida Health Department, the Flagler Health Department, to offer free flu shots in schools. Again, that looks more like it's news. It says it's from the newsroom. So at this point, my first page of results is not really all that great. So I might need to look at what else I can do to my search to make it more scholarly, to make it more academic. And one of those things is limiting to Cite.edu or Cite.gov. So if I add Cite:/edu to my search, let's take a look at this one here, this PDF, School-Based Seasonal Influenza Vaccinations. So this is frequently asked questions for school administrators. It's the Hawaii State Department of Health. Again, this is a little bit more geared toward practitioners, not research. We could find out about the immunization program at the Alachua County Public Schools. There is a Harvard Health blog. Again, academic blogs a little bit better. So this is from the Harvard Medical School. It is written by the faculty editor, someone who has a MD, they are a doctor. And this one is more in depth. Also has a ad blocking it. So we are seeing that it has more information. They are linking out to data and other types of resources. So this one is getting better. We are seeing that this would be a better result. I'm still not sure I'm willing to commit to that, but we are getting a better result. And lots of things popping up on top. So again, not as much about the research. So what I might need to do is maybe flu shot schools and maybe add something, maybe add effectiveness. And so some of these titles are looking better now. Reports support usefulness of school-based flu vaccination. School-located vaccination programs could reduce flu cases. Can schools prevent the next pandemic? A study of school. Let's see. A study of school-located influenza vaccination in Metro Atlanta, Georgia. So this is actually a journal article, although it really has some messed up formatting here. This is very in-depth. It is going to be talking about the research aims, the method, the population. Scrolling back up to the top, we can see that it was published in the Stanford Journal of Public Health. It was published by Jesse Holtzman, although this Julia Brownell here maybe says that the author is Julia Brownell and maybe it was just published by Jesse Holtzman. It was published in 2013, so not the newest information, but this is looking a little bit more general about influenza vaccinations, so it could still work. So by changing my search strategies, by adding on words, by changing things to Cite.edu or maybe Cite.gov, I am starting to see better results. And that is the cycle of how research works. It is very rarely that you will put something in and you'll find exactly what you need. A lot of times you have to play around with the words and see what happens. As a librarian, I do that all the time. Even with knowing how to research and helping people with their research every day, I sometimes have to play around and see what happens. So this is just kind of showing you how you should be quickly evaluating the questions you should be asking. You know, is it long enough? Is it recent enough? Where is this from? And then we will go into the more in-depth evaluation.